Hello, this is Leslie. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, you are going to enjoy this video. If you have been with me for a while, I want to thank you and welcome back. Now, this video has been a year in the making because 2025 was a year for me to start getting ready and reining in my finances. And trying to do it because I want to retire soon. So I'm trying to get a hold of my finances and see it. It started with the no spent challenge, which is extremely hard. It can be done, but it's extremely hard. And I would suggest that you would start like just little bits, because like for me, it morphed into seeing what I spend money on and how much. Now, I use this little planner for 2025. I wrote everything that I spent on. For example, in January, I started with, this is a no-buy year, which at the end of this video, you're going to say, what the heck? On January 9th, I spent $9 for lunch. I did some other expenses. And I didn't buy anything on the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th of January 2025. Then, $9 for lunch. I spent $11.23 on Saturday, January 11th, 2025, at Wendy's. On the 12th, I spent $9.72 at Taco Bell. I had pretty big expenses because we have a boat and we have two boats, and that's another story, another video. So on January 14th, I spent $2,500 for the summer slip payment. I kept all my expenses here. On January 19th, I spent $9.97 at Aldi's. Everything was put in this little planner. On Wednesday, April 2nd, I spent $13.31 at bagels, $1.08 at the Dollar General, $2 at the Trading Post. So yeah, I put everything here. From if I spent $6 on ice cream, I had it there. Now, like I said, there is so much that I did have big expenses. For example, in December 2025, I had a big expense of let me see, where is it? No, it was in November. I'm sorry. It was in November. I had $2,737.50 for the Florida taxes that I had to pay. I spent $1.25 on a soda. So I pretty much put all my, what I spend on any day, any given day. It was all put in this little planner that I really highly recommend that you put it in writing of what you spend on, because, and I have my calculator here so you guys can see. Let me see. I'm going to put it into print because this was very shocking and eye-opener for me. These are all my receipts throughout the year from, let me see, January of 2025. They're all there. February 2025. March. These are all here. All these receipts for March. Then we go to April, May, all the receipts for May, Where is June? Did I miss June here? No, it's here. May, April, May. Here's June, July, August, September. This is, let me see, I must have written it back there. October. This is November. Actually, this is also November because I have some receipts that my husband gave me for food that I was keeping there. And another from my husband here. Now, December I didn't have because, oh yes, I did. I'm sorry. December I have because I waited until the last moment and to verify that I did December, what I spent in the last day of December, December 30th, the 31st, I went and I purchased some Christmas presents, 75% off at Walmart. And I should have it here. Yep, I have it right here. $111.63. December was a very low month. So everything is here. So I added all these receipts. I matched to what I have written on my book. So I have it all added up in here, but I wanted to add something else because I didn't have December here. So December was $853.31 plus the rest of all. Let me go back and show you, for example, in January of 2025, I spent, because I had a lot of big expenses that year, I spent 10, 23, 39. I don't know why I have $2,500 that I didn't put in there, but I have it there, $70.15 plus $18.08. So actually, January, and like I said, I have big expenses here, that a couple were not mine, but I got paid. But I consider an expense. It was about $4,000. February, I spent $774.63. March was $4,622. I have a few big expenses there because some moving that I did. In April, I spent $1,524. May, $2,930. So I have, so that the no spent challenge was really like I said, it morphed into, let me see what I'm spending my money on. And I think that will help me out for this new year because I will have this whole amount that I spent last year on crap, because there was some Temu stuff there that, it found its way to me. So it will help me with this new year and spending less. And this way is going to, if I try to spend some money on something, even as little as it is, because the little amounts do grow into bigger amounts, I will have that total amount per year that I spent, and it will give me pause. It will allow me to think, do I really need this? I mean, food, it is counted, but it's not counted because I have to eat. Now, let's do the whole thing. Now, we have a boat in Maryland that we are trying to sell. And for that, I spent $721 a month for storage. So for 2025, I spent $8,652 on storage for that boat. I do put it on a credit card, and at the end of the month, I pay the whole amount. So it's not getting bigger and bigger, and I just pay a little bit. So I do pay, the $721, sometimes $850. That way I am not going to be falling behind too much. So that is for the boat, $8,652. That's for the Hatteras storage. And after I did all this here, let me see what I have here. Oh, this is all that balances. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have, let me add January because I don't have it in my total amount. So my total amount for, I'm sorry, not January, December 2025, I have $853.31 that I spent on December. For my Hatteras, I have $8,652 for storage. Adding up all my receipts from January 2025 to now, December 2025. Let me go back to this. This way we have it all together. For December, I have $853.31. For the Hatteras storage, I have $86.52. And adding all the other months, I have $30,458.86, which gives me a total on my no-spent year of $40,080. Let me show you. Where do I have there 31? Did I miss one there? 853 plus that. I think I have it wrong. Let me go back to all the months because I already added January to November. Is $30,458.86. $30,458.86 plus the Hatteras, which I have $8,652. And then for December, I have $853.31. Okay. So my grand total that I have here, I don't know where that $31 come from, but I have it here. The grand total that I spent on from January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025 is $39,964.17. I hope that you can see that amount there, but that's how much was my no spent challenge year was. I am not trying to make excuses when I say there were some big purchases there, which there's going to be in this year as well, because we have to pay for the winter, for the summer slip. I have to pay the taxes on my place in Florida. Luckily, I have it rented out, so the expenses of dues and stuff like that, they're not falling on my shoulders. So yeah, it's a pretty rude awakening that I just had to know that I have spent $40,000 practically. And if I miss one or two things that I didn't record it, I am easy at $41,000. So how did that happen? I don't know. I don't know how that happened, because I try my hardest to be conservative on my spending. I try my hardest to buy just the necessities. It's a rude awakening for me. It's a shocking awakening for me that I have spent $41,000 and I really don't have much to show for. The boat in Maryland hopefully is going to be sold shortly. So that $821 a month, $721 a month, hopefully will be gone. I already paid for January, so, I'm going to be counting that into that. So yeah, this no spend challenge was really bad. It was really bad. And you know what? Like I said, I have to eat, right? And what I have done is I just buy those frozen lunches. Right now, ShopRite, as a matter of fact, has them on sale, $1 a piece. But I have purchased the lunches for $2.99 each, and that's my lunch. Every now and then, maybe twice a month, I have splurged on Chinese food for lunch, which is about $9. But this is just, it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking, sickening, that I have this amount of expenses in 1 year. So what am I going to do this year? This year is going to be a little bit tighter. It's going to be this amount of $39,964.17, rounding it up to $41,000. I am going to keep that amount in mind. I'm going to write it in my new journal. And I'm going to keep it in mind every time I buy $1.25 of a soda. I can always drink water. So I'm going to keep that in mind every time I consider buying something. I could have had, if I would have spent half of that, I could have had $20,000 less in debt, because I would have been able to pay my debts. But at least it's helping me put it into actual figures and put it in front of my face that will force me to watch my expenses more. So if this past year started as no spend challenge that morphed into let's track what I spent money on, this year is going to be, I hope that at the end of this year, 2026, I am going to be able to say, 2025, I spent $40,000. 2026, I spent half of that. I spent only $20,000. I am going to do my best, do my hardest to cut that amount of spending in half. So if I can't do the no spend challenge in a year, I am going to do a challenge for myself to spend half of what I spent last year. So this is, needless to say, this is a rude awakening for me, especially if I want to retire in 4 years. But it's a lesson that I have learned. I needed to learn. And I don't know if this video will help you rein in your expenses, or at least consider keeping track of what you spend money on. Even if it's, I think I spent like 98 cents on something at the Trading Post, and I wrote it down. So if this video just gives you a little bit of incentive to keep track of your expenses and actually see how much you spend money on, or what you spend money on, might give you a shocking result like it did to me. I am confident that this new year is going to be a little bit better, because I am more determined to accomplish what I want to accomplish. So again, I hope this video helps you in some way, shape, or form, because times are hard and we have to find ways on saving money. But I hope these videos help you in some fashion with finances and such. I want to thank you for staying with me through all this video. I realized just now that I didn't smile a lot on this video because, there wasn't a lot to smile about. As a matter of fact, I wanted to cry. But let's hope that this new year is better. All right. So thank you again for joining me and staying to this point. And let's hope that this new year is going to be a half of that spending. And as always, Carpe Diem.